What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 20th day of September, and here we are with about 11 hours left in this day. 115 point, I mean, it's basically 116K is the price that we're at right now. And we have found a low as of yesterday right there at about $115.2 thousand. Everybody was running around. I shouldn't say everybody, but there were a lot of people on social media that were running around like chickens with their heads cut off yesterday at the lows. At the lows, which by the way were the highest lows of this little sideways range we've been in. We haven't broken out to the upside or to the downside. We're just chilling, consolidating, and it's reminiscent, at least in my opinion, of what we were doing back here, back in April, right? You guys see it, right? It's a little bit less decisive of a move up, I will say, but similar to this fact that we moved up and then we moved sideways and then we moved up and then we moved sideways. You see this consolidation phase here? It's essentially the same as like this here. We moved up and now we're moving sideways with higher lows along the way. If we take this here, we look at this from a low point here to the high point here, you found support right at that red line, the 236. That's the red line right there, okay? Found support right there. If we take the next low to the next high, you found support right there at the 236 yet again. If we put it up to this high, you found support just below but right at that 236 yet again, right? 236 every single time, 236 for the win. If we were to take this low here to this high here, you found support, you guessed it, right at the 236 yet again. If we were to take the overall low to the overall high, overall low to the overall high, you found support at the 236. Yes, this one you wicked a little bit through. I remember that. We got faked out. We thought we were going to the 382 because of that. That's pretty uncommon behavior, I will say. But all in all, the 236 held up as support during this last phase here where we were moving up, having these sideways kind of consolidations that faked people out left and right. Now, if we're looking at this here, you might be surprised to find, or not surprised at all, low to high, that the 236 is exactly where we found support yesterday, which is exactly why this was the call. I forget when I made it during, if it's the 13th hour today, I would have made it during the 13th hour yesterday. So we made that call. Wasn't too hard of a call to make, somewhere over here, right? It wasn't that far away. It was very obvious at this point that we were moving lower, but we were calling to find support here, right? And if we go lower, you guys, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, if we go lower, the 382 would provide support, right? That's at $113.8 thousand. It'd be a very likely area to find support. And we could go lower. I'm not saying that we can't. I'm just saying this was the area that we intended to hold. We held it before. If we put it at this high, we held it right there. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised at all. Higher lows, if it does hold and we continue to move higher. It is the weekend. It is Saturday, so with that in mind, if the higher we move up over the weekend, we do promote the idea or the chance of having a gap in the CME, the Bitcoin futures. And if we have that, a lot of people I think are going to go short on Bitcoin because all gaps fill. That's what people think, but most gaps fill. Not all of them do, right? Statistically speaking, yes, gaps do fill, but there are also gaps that are inevitably left behind, never to be filled at all. And it's very possible that this could be a setup because Bitcoin's been very tricky. I want to say Bitcoin's been very tricky over the past month, right? It's been quite volatile, and there's been moments where it's supposed to go down and it doesn't go down, where like it's showing signals in the charts that it would, and there's signals where it looks like it's going to go up and then it actually reverts back the other direction. So at least from what I've seen, it's been tricky here and there. It's not like it's been tricky the whole time. I feel like we've done, overall in this area, we've done a pretty good job of deciphering it, right? But there are moments where it's tricky, and I wouldn't be surprised if this CME gap idea was another moment of trickery where we gap up over the weekend, we move up over the weekend, and we have a CME gap to the ups or to the downside left behind, and then that's a perfect kind of bear trap because people think that we have to fill that gap. Maybe we do fill the gap, maybe we do, but I doubt that we get a lower low is all I'm trying to say. Let's look at the indicators. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame and then zoom out from there and just see what we're dealing with here. Okay, what the likelihood is. Because again, it is possible. It is possible that we go below this low. And if we go below 115.2K, all hell has not broken loose. We're fine. Okay, but let's just look and see what the charts are telling us. Looking at the MACD. I mean, it's the 1 hour time frame, so it's less significant, but kind of looks positive right now. Stochastics look positive, and the RSI overall pretty volatile, pretty neutral but volatile, right? Getting overbought, oversold, overbought, oversold. I want to say you're going to get overbought then, right? That's the idea here. I mean, you seem to be in a somewhat of a minor uptrend, higher lows, higher highs. So continue to do that into Sunday maybe, right? That's the end of the day right there is this line right here. That's the end of the day. So continue moving up into Sunday, into the end of the day. Maybe Sunday will be a red day, Saturday will be a green day, or Sunday might be a green day too. Out of the 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, Sunday is definitely the bigger mover whenever it comes to red or green. It's definitely the bigger mover, typically. Not always. Sometimes it's Saturday, but typically. So looking at this here, I would think that we do continue to move up going into the end of the day here, okay? How high are we going to go just based off of this? Looking at this, I would think at least then 107, or maybe not at least, but something around 117K. Maybe we, something around 116.7, 117K. Maybe we go to new highs. Time will tell. Let's look at the 4 hour and see if we can divulge more information. The RSI, lower lows in the RSI. You do have lower lows right there, so no hidden bullish divergence. Bouncing off the oversold zone on the stochastics, looking like you're pointed upwards. That's nice. The MACD is right at an area to scoop the zero and find support here, so I think that's nice as well. Yeah, I think overall you're at an area where you'd expect to find support, right? Finding support here, you kind of found support in this area before. You found support in this area right here as well. You could get oversold. You are in an overall downtrend, let's be fair, right? You've got lower lows and lower highs. You are in an overall downtrend, but even with that, you could go up here, find resistance. By that time, it is the end of the day, right? That's the end of the day. So I stick with it. I think that you are going to at least move up by the end of the day. Now, if you can get out of this range, if you can get, I can't draw a straight line to save my life. If you can get out of this range of these lower highs, if you can actually move up higher and get above the 60 and stay above the 60, get overbought, I think that that we'd definitely be seeing new highs here. But at the moment, just from what I'm seeing, I wouldn't call for new highs by the end of the day. I want to wait until tomorrow and just see what we're doing to determine that. But I would think that we do move up to about $117,000, give or take $300 either direction, okay? Not above this high, but somewhere probably above this high here, if not at least to that high. So we are going to move up going into the end of the day. But again, it's the weekend. If you're expecting anything dramatic to happen and you're watching the charts like a hawk, take a break. Go touch grass. Go to the park. Go read a book or something. Relax. Watch a movie. Whatever. It's not going to be the most important day. I doubt it. I would love it if I'm wrong, and by the time everyone's watching this, Bitcoin's just up 15%. That would be awesome. But something like that, I wouldn't expect it to happen. We could break out any day now. Looking at this consolidation phase, we really could break out any day now. But I think the weekend is not the time for that personally. Sometimes we do get very bullish weekends though. Last cycle, going from about $10,000 to $20,000 and even beyond there were actually a lot of weekends where we were pumping up and we left gaps behind, not consistently, but semi-consistently. That threw a lot of people off. It threw me off. Let's see. Looking at the RSI here on the daily time frame. Overall bullish, right? You're doing the same things that you've done every single time. Finding support in this area, this area, this area, all this time. Every single time, if you've noticed that you found support right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, you've gone to the overbought zone every single time except for this moment right here, where you are at the moment finding resistance at the exact same area. But here it was clear resistance and you came down. Here I wouldn't say it's so clear. You're kind of consolidating in this area like you did back here, right? And then you went overbought. So overbought zone there, overbought zone there. A lot of these attempts, 3 out of the past 4, have gotten you to the overbought zone. Will this be one? You do have lower lows on the daily RSI. Do you have higher lows? You have higher lows in the price on a closing basis. So that is hidden bullish divergence that tends to mark continuation to the upside, not to the downside, you guys. So that's my assumption, is that we're probably going to move to the upside. We take this overall high to low here. Went from the golden ratio down to the 0.5. Went from the high down to the 236, which is right there. I mean, the two perfect areas that make the utmost sense to find support at. If we were to go lower, the lowest I'd give us would be about $113,500, maybe just below there, but I wouldn't think we go too much below that. And also, I don't even think that we go down there personally. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think we probably hold this area for support, and then we continue to move higher. All right, that's the expectation at the moment. Um, let's see. Looking at these stochastics, we do have lower lows there as well as higher lows in the price. That's hidden bullish divergence as well. The MACD continues to stay crossed above the zero. That's a good look in itself. I would very much expect that the price continues to grow. So with that in mind, after everything that I'm seeing here, I do think that we have found the low. I think that's a higher low, and I feel confident in exactly what I said in the beginning of this video and even some videos last night, is that this is very similar to what we were doing back here. It's very, very similar. And I think just like this, if you guys notice, right, just like this back here, every single time that we had these higher lows, people were dramatically bearish. This is it. We're going lower. People were saying we're going below 70K. Here comes 60K. I remember it like it was yesterday. And what I said there is what I'm going to say now, because I think it's fitting, right? You're not going to get a chance. Too many people, they're hoping they get a chance to buy lower. They want it to go down because they want to buy more. They're not bearish. They're very bullish, and they're desperate to get their hands on more Bitcoin, on more crypto. And the only way to do that at cheaper levels is if the price drops, right? But they're going to be wrong. This move is going to be tenacious. It's not going to be forgiving at all to the bears. You want forgiveness? Go back in time. There is your forgiveness. There is your forgiveness. You had all the time in the world, you guys. It's been since July now. Since July, and it's September, the end of September. And you want more time to buy, right? Anybody telling you that the price is going below 100K, anybody telling you about the CME gaps at 92K or 98K or 103K, anybody saying that, they just want the price to go down there so bad that they're reluctant, that they're refusing to address what's actually happening in the charts, okay? The reality is, without all the fancy indicators, you can use your eyeballs, right? Here we are. Here we are right at the base of this area where we found support before, where we were consolidating. And instead of rejecting, right, notice how here we moved up, and what did we do? We rejected, because this area was resistance. So we rejected. Notice here how we're doing something different. We're grinding it out. Yeah, that's because we're moving higher. That's what we're doing. Notice here, right, we've done this before, right? Look, support here, right there. Whenever we found resistance here, what did we do? We went down. We rejected. But then what happened whenever we broke out to the upside? Well, beforehand, we grinded it out. We're grinding it out now. It's very simple. I could have made this video in like a 30-second clip if I wanted to, but I like to explain. If I just say things, if I just say, well, this is why, that's not good enough. People need more reasons. And I get that. I appreciate that. I'm the same way, right? I'm just saying it's very simple if you use your eyeballs, okay? And anybody who's bearish right now, I'm talking to you. You need to pull your head out of your butt, or at least, at the very, very least, please tell me that you are at least allocated in the markets. You can be bearish as long as you're allocated. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. Because if you're allocated in the markets and you're bearish, and that doesn't happen and it goes up, at least you're making money. If you're making money when you're wrong, you're doing something right. So, I don't know, man. I'm just going to end it with that. Hit the like button, subscribe. Valhalla awaits. We are going to new all-time highs. It's undeniable. I'd very much expect from here $116,000. We're more on a path to prices that are closer to $180,000 than we are on a path to taking out these lows. And even if we go lower from here, it'll still be a higher low. Imagine that I'm wrong and we go lower. We're still going to find support at the area that we discussed. It's still going to be a higher low overall. The bears will be celebrating and going short, and then boom, then we rip in their face. That's what's going to happen. They're going to get a big old bullish rip right in their face. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Bye-bye.